Lateral displacement of the emergent ray of light through a glass slab increases with, assume incident and emergent angles are very small. Okay. So the lateral displacement when the incident angle is very small, we have already derived that result, that is equal to n minus 1 upon n into Ti. Okay. Or we can also write it as 1 minus 1 upon n into Ti. Okay. Now let's have a look at the options. Option A, increase in angle of incidence. So if I increases, we can see that D is also going to increase. So option A can be a, or is certainly a correct option. Next one is decrease in refractive index of glass. So if n is decreasing, 1 by n is increasing, and we are subtracting a larger number, which means that the whole expression is going to decrease. Okay, so option B cannot be my right answer. What happens in option C? Increase in the wavelength of light. So we know that mu1 upon mu2 is equal to v2 upon v1 is equal to lambda 2 upon lambda 1. Okay, so mu has an inverse relationship with mu. So if lambda is increasing, the refractive index is going to decrease, and we have already seen in option B that if refractive index decrease, then the lateral shift is going to be smaller. Okay, so option C also cannot be the correct option. Last is decrease in thickness of the slab. So if thickness of the slab decreases, then the D is going to decrease, not increase. So that is also not going to be my option. So my correct option obviously is going to be option A. Okay, let's move to the next question. Find the lateral shift of light ray while it passes through a parallel glass slab of thickness 10 cm placed in air. The angle of incidence in air is 60 degree and angle of refraction in glass is 45 degree. All right, so again, what do we have to calculate? We have to calculate the lateral shift. Okay, the lateral shift is obviously given by T upon cos r into sine I minus r. Okay, so we have been given T, we have been given the angle of incidence, and we have also been given the angle of refraction. So all we need to do is substitute. It's that simple. So D is equal to T, which is 10 centimeter, multiplied by sine I minus R. Sine I is 60, R is 45. Correct? Divided by cos R, which is 45 degree. So this becomes 10 centimeter multiplied by sine 15 degree, and cos 45 degree is 1 upon root 2. So finally I'm going to get 10 root 2 multiplied by sine 15 degree centimeter, and that is going to be my answer. All right, let's have a look at the options. So option A is going to be the right option. A ray of light is incident on the surface of glass slab at an angle 45 degree. If the lateral shift produced per unit thickness is 1 by root 3 meter, the angle of refraction produced is, okay, what have we been given? Angle of incidence is given, the refractive index is given, and a quantity, the lateral shift per unit thickness, which is nothing but d by t, which is given as 1 by root 3 meter. We have to find out what is the angle of refraction. All right. So obviously lateral shift is equal to d into t sine I minus r upon cos r. So all we need to do is do the substitution. So d by t is equal to sine I minus r divided by cos r. Is that correct? Okay. Now what is d by t? D by t is given to us as 1 by root 3. Okay. So now this becomes sine I minus r. Okay. So can we write sine I minus r as sine A minus B? Okay. So sine A minus B is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. So this becomes sine I cos r minus cos I sine r divided by cos r. Okay. So from here, what can I see? 1 by root 3 is equal to the sine I and cos I. So angles are 45 degree. So sine I is going to be 1 by root 2 and cos I is also going to be 1 by root 2. So can I take it common? Perfect. Now cos r upon cos r is going to give me 1 minus sine r upon cos r is going to give me tan r. Okay. So this root 2 I can send it over here. So I get tan r is equal to 1 minus under root of 2 by 3. Hence, r is going to be tan inverse of 1 minus under root 2 by 3. And that should be my answer. Pretty simple, isn't it? Let's have a look at the options. So option B is going to be the right option. A glass slab of thickness 3 centimeter and refractive index mu g is equal to 3 by 2 is placed in front of a concave mirror as shown in the figure. At what distance the final image will be formed from the mirror? So there's an object, there's a glass slab, and then there is a concave mirror. We have to locate where will the final image be formed. Okay, so refraction happening, reflection happening, multiple things happening here. So the key concept involved here is that the image formed due to refraction or reflection acts as an object for subsequent refraction or reflection. Okay, what does it mean? First, let's understand how the light is going to travel. First, the light is going to travel through the slab. So an image would be formed due to refraction, and we are calling that O prime. Is that correct? Okay, now that is going to act as an object for the mirror. Okay, so the mirror is going to form that image again. Okay, now when mirror forms that image, now light is again going to go in this direction after reflection from the concave mirror. Okay, then it is going to get refracted from the slab again, and then final image is going to be formed. So there are two refractions and one reflection. Let's see how to solve this question. Okay, so first of all, we need to find out where is this O prime, the image formed by the refraction. Okay, and we know that the shift due to a slab delta x is equal to t into 1 minus 1 by mu. So let's quickly calculate that. T is 3 centimeter and this becomes 1 minus 1 upon mu. Mu is 3 by 2. So 3 comes here, 2 goes here, and this becomes 1 centimeter. Okay, so which means that O prime is at a distance of 20 centimeter, and now this is going to act as an object. Okay, now the radius of curvature of the concave mirror is 20 centimeter, which means O prime is at the center of curvature. If the object is at center of curvature, then the image is also formed at the center of curvature, right? So the reflection from mirror is going to happen like this, and the ray is going to go towards the center of curvature, which means the image formed by concave mirror is going to be at the same point. Okay, I'm calling that O double prime. Okay, now light is moving in the direction of the slab, and again the slab is going to refract the light. Okay, now when light was going from right to left, the object was displaced by a distance of delta x. Now when it is going from left to right through the same slab, it should be displaced in the rightward direction by the same amount. Okay, so this O double prime formed here is going to be shifted by delta x amount, and then finally the image is going to be formed at O itself. Okay, and I'm calling that O triple prime, hence that is the final image formed. Okay, so what is that distance from the mirror? That distance is nothing but 21 centimeter. Okay, so here we considered two refractions and one reflection, then we came to this conclusion. Is that correct? Okay, now there is an alternative way of looking at this as well. Okay, let's have a look at that. Now first of all, the object is here, so the shift is 1 centimeter, so the image is formed over here. Okay, when the image is formed over here, the image is formed at the center of curvature. Hence, for the concave mirror, the object is placed at the center of curvature, which means that this light ray which is coming is normally incident on the mirror. Okay, so if it is incident normally, it is going to be refracted normally as well. I mean, reflected normally as well. Okay, so the light ray is going to be reflected like this. Now, we know a principle called the principle of reversibility of path of light, which states that if the direction of light is reversed, then it is still going to take the same path. Okay, now here all we have done is, this was the direction, now the direction has been reversed. If the direction has been reversed, it is still going to take the same path. So it is going to come here, and it is going to come here like this, and finally the image is going to be formed here itself. Is that correct? So we don't have to do so much calculation, or we don't have to consider two refractions and one reflection in this case. We simply understand the principle of reversibility of the path. Okay, and hence we can say that the final image is going to be formed at a distance of 21 centimeter from the mirror. All right, so that should be my answer, and option B is going to be the correct option. Okay, now there is an important takeaway here, which is the principle of reversibility of path of light. And what does that state? Principle of reversibility of light states that light follows the same path if the direction of the travel of light is reversed. Hence, if light is incident normally on a mirror, it will retrace its path. Okay, because if there is normal incidence, is going to be reflected normally as well. Okay, so the direction of light is just going to be reversed and it is going to follow that path again. Okay, this is a very important scenario because this is going to occur again and again in geometrical optics. All right, as we proceed. So let's move to the next question. If observer and object are present in air medium, then find the net shift in position of object produced due to the combination of glass slabs as seen from the side of an observer O. Okay, so there's an observer in air, there's an object in air, and in between there are three different glass slabs with three different refractive indices. Okay, and three different thicknesses as well. We have to find out what will be the shift in the position of the object as observed by this observer. Correct? So the key concept involved here is that the total shift is going to be the summation of individual shifts. Okay, what do I mean? Let's assume there was only glass slab with refractive index mu1 and thickness t1. So there will be some shift. Okay, again there will, assuming that there is only one slab mu2 with thickness t2, there will be some shift, and similarly for the third slab. Now if we calculate these individual shifts and if we add them together, we are going to get the net shift. That is the key concept involved over here. Okay, so let's try and apply that. Okay, so what is the shift? The shift is given as t into 1 minus 1 by mu. Obviously mu is the refractive index of the slab, and assuming this result is only valid when the object and the observer both are in air. Okay, and which is the case here, so we can use this directly. So can I say delta x1 is going to be equal to t1, which is 10 centimeter multiplied by 1 minus 1 upon 2. Is that correct? Okay, so this is going to come out to be 5 centimeter. Delta x2 is going to be equal to 15 centimeter, which is the thickness, into 1 minus 1 upon the refractive index, which is 1.5. So this is going to come out to be 15 centimeter into 0.5 upon 1.5. So this is going to give me 5 centimeter again. Okay, so that is delta x2. What is delta x3? Delta x3 is equal to 10 centimeter into 1 minus 1 by 2, which is going to come out to be 5 centimeter again. So what is the total shift? Total is going to be delta x1 plus delta x2 plus delta x3 is equal to 15 centimeter, and that is going to be my answer. Let's have a look at the options. So option C is going to be the right option.